Hello, my mystic friends. I'm your astrologer, Patricia Tate, and today we're going to be diving into the month of November of 2025, this monthly astrology forecast. I want to share insights with you in order to help you connect with your inner wisdom to move more in alignment with the universe. Now, I do have some exciting news to share. I am excited to share my 2026 year ahead astrology forecast. Each one is an extended video with a detailed PDF that explains the key transits, the eclipses, and all the shifts so you can help navigate your year with confidence. You can grab your sign or bundle all 12 at willowgracemystic.com or in the link below. So for my Virgo friends, November of 2025 is going to be arriving with a rhythm of deep reflection for you, of opportunities for recalibration, and for you to transform from the inside out. For you, you are naturally drawn to order and structure and meaning and service, to bringing clarity to what feels like tangled or messed up in order to offer your skills in ways that can heal and support others. This month, the universe, it calls you to pause. It wants you to look at your beliefs. It wants you to look at your foundation, your roots, and to look at your closest partnerships or connections with a new set of eyes. It wants you to look at what you discover now may not only shift how you move through your daily life, but how you can now envision your future moving forward. I want to start off with November 5th because you're having a full moon in the sign of Taurus. You have the sun in Scorpio in your fifth house or third house, and the moon is full in your ninth house. And so a Taurus full moon in the house of learning and wisdom and travel and your belief systems. Full moons always bring about closures and culminations and endings, completions, and their revelations, seeing something that you didn't see before because it was like hidden. And so here, it's shining a light on a course of study or a spiritual practice or a philosophy that you possibly have just outgrown. For you, my Virgo friends, this lunation, it brings clarity into what do you truly believe. Perhaps you've held onto a worldview or a mindset that just no longer resonates with the person that you're becoming. You might feel called to release these rigid beliefs or outdated narratives so you can step into a broader, freer vision of truth. This is a time for you to acknowledge how far you've truly come on your journey of growth. This could be a project that's related to teaching, or you, like student becomes a teacher, or teacher is a student, or publishing, or a spiritual exploration that can reach a culmination or a climax or an ending now. The Taurus energy, it reminds you to ground your wisdom in the lived experiences, to not only seek answers, but to savor what do you already know. This full moon is bringing to light where you are ready to leave behind. All right, so let's take a look at November 7th. Just 2 days later, we're now going to have Uranus retrograding back into. So Uranus is the planet that is, it's chaotic energy. Think of it as like a lightning. It's air. It wants us to inspire like a busy mind. And so it shakes up things. Think about it as a lightning bolt. And so Uranus re-entering into the sign of Taurus. It's shaking up your ninth house for one last go round. Since Uranus had been here for many years, you were already familiar with the call to awaken, the call to liberate, to expand your perspective. And then it went into your career sector, your job, your reputation, your legacy. Now that it's going backwards one last time, it wants to return for one last wave of breakthroughs. So I would expect unexpected opportunities for travel or unconventional teachers to show up in your life, or to cross path, or to have these sudden flashes of insight that can truly change how do you see the world. Now on the same day, we're going to have Venus Venus is in the sign of Scorpio in your third house, and it's going to be in a hard aspect with Pluto in the sign of Aquarius. Squares are meant to create tension in order to activate change. And so this is activating the change between your third house of communication and your sixth house of wellness and health, alternative healthcare and healing practices and modalities. This transit, it can really stir up the tension within your day-to-day routines, your conversations that you have with your relationships with siblings or colleagues or your neighbors. There can be power dynamics because Scorpio is deep. It's about power and control. And so this can come up in how you express yourself at work or how you balance your health with your responsibilities. The sixth house is balancing career and home. And so the lesson here is for you to avoid obsessing over control and instead look to seek out transformation through openness and honesty. Now, on the very next day, we're going to have Mercury stationing retrograde on November 9th. So Mercury, your chart ruler, rules over who you are, and it rules over your house of career and job and reputation. So Mercury stationing retrograde at the bottom of your chart, your fourth house of home and your traditions and genealogy. Mercury being your ruling planet. So because it's your ruling planet, it carries extra weight with it. I would expect old family matters, possible patterns to just resurface, possible home projects, things that can stall. It's about going back, redo, rethink, revise, remodel, maybe conversations with loved ones that need to be revisited. For you, this retrograde, it's encouraging you to stop and pause and to reflect on how your foundation, what you build your life upon, what stories from your past still influence you today. Are you holding on to family patterns that limit your growth? This is not going to be a time that you're going to want to push forward with. This is about going back and reorganizing things that have to do with your home, remodeling. This is resolving what has been left unfinished in order to strengthen your emotional gaps. All right, so then on November 11th, just 2 days later, we're going to have Jupiter now station retrograde. Now, Jupiter, love when Jupiter moves forward because it's lighting up your 11th house of friendship and community and your future goals. It wants to expand. Now, the Jupiter expanding your social world, your visions for the future, but when it stations retrograde, it's pulling the energy inward. It's you reconnecting with old friends or your communities. It's you revisiting what are your old dreams or your old plans that felt important, but because you were busy or because something happened, they were put on the back burner. They were put aside. For you, this retrograde, it's asking you to evaluate the people, the goals that you are aligning yourself with, to look at them and say, do my friendships reflect my values? Does my vision for the future match the inner truth? By reflecting inward, you can realign your path with your communities, your dreams, and you can nourish your soul. Remember that communities are not just like our in-person communities. These can be our online places that we spend time with online or within how we want to volunteer or be part of something that is bigger. Then I want to move forward to Mercury again. So on November 18th, Mercury is now going to retrograde back into the sign of Scorpio. So it's carrying a theme with it. When Mercury dips back into the sign of Scorpio, this is in your third house of communication. It's learning, it's short trips. It has to do with you revisiting an old subject for possibly a study, a class, a workshop, reconnecting with a sibling, a neighbor, reorganizing the ways that you say things, the ways that you do things. For you, this retrograde is offering you a chance to, it's to refine your voice. And so it's inviting you to reflect on the words that you use, the way that you communicate with other people on a daily basis. And most important is the story that you tell yourself on a daily basis. You know, like the voice you hear in your head. Be mindful of gossip at this time, rushed words and harsh criticism. Use this energy to heal your voice and to align it with your truth. And then the very next day, we're going to have a Sun conjunct Mercury cazimi. So the Mercury will be in the heart of the Sun, and a new moon. Like, this is really a powerful moment of clarity for you. Having the Sun and Mercury that's retrograde conjunct in the sign of Scorpio, this is shining a light on a matter of communication and learning for you. This cazimi moment, it can bring this sudden insight or understanding or the resolution to possibly a misunderstanding. It's aligned with a new moon in the sign of Scorpio. So it's activating a fresh start in the way that you speak, the way that you learn, the way that you connect with the people that are around you. New moons are always fresh starts, clean slates, new beginnings. And so for you, this is a beautiful time to set your intentions around, I want to have clear communication. This could be starting a new writing project or a learning project, or creating the stronger bonds or your connections with those people that you connect with on a more immediate basis. This new moon, it's really empowering you to transform the way that you use your voice. And remember that your words, they're not just information. They are healing tools when they're aligned with your heart. Now, on the very next day, on the 20th, you're now going to have Uranus in a harmonious aspect. So we have Uranus at 29 degrees, which is an anaretic degree. And it's in a harmonious aspect with Neptune, also at 29 degrees. And both of them are retrograding backwards. And so a sextile is a harmonious aspect that you just have to lean into it and work with it a little bit. So it links your house of wisdom and higher learning and publishing and legal matters to your 7th house of partnerships, personal, professional, collaborative. This is a really deeply supportive and a spiritual aspect with Neptune. You can feel inspired to align your beliefs with your partnerships, your relationships, or to connect with a partner that is more of a visionary and in a compassionate way. For you, my Virgo friends, this aspect, it bridges the growth within your wisdom with the dynamics of your closest relationships, your closest connections. Perhaps you and a partner, you embark on a shared mutual spiritual journey, or you find inspiration through a teacher or a mentor, a guide, or a companion. Trust that your partnerships can now expand your horizons in these beautiful, harmonious, and soulful ways. Virgo, November of 2025 is going to be this month of inner reorganization and outer renewal for you. The Taurus full moon and the Uranus aspects in your 9th house are pushing you to let go and release these outdated beliefs and embrace these new perspectives. Mercury retrograde in your 4th and your 3rd houses, it's really highlighting the importance of revisiting the family members, these patterns of communication and these habits and the way that you've spoken or that the story is carried down or passed down from one generation to another. While Jupiter retrograde, it's encouraging you to reflect on your friendships and your goals. The Scorpio new moon and the Sun Mercury cazimi, I'm super excited about, is going to be offering you these powerful opportunities to truly reset your voice with your connections. Because it's your chart ruler and all of this is happening at the same time, this is expanding upon with Uranus and Neptune opening up these visionary possibilities in both wisdom and partnership, collaboration, connection. This month for you is less about rushing ahead and more about carefully like reweaving the threads of your foundation, which includes your words and your relationships, so that they align with your higher truth. So, my Virgo friends, a mantra for you can be, I release the stories that no longer serve me. I speak my truth with clarity, compassion, and I align my voice, my foundation, and my relationships with the wisdom of my soul. So for my Virgo friends, thank you so much for being here. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below.